Welcome on in.
I walked on the table.
Don't knock over the already spilled beer cans, please. But
Uh,
hey, welcome, Razz. Just want me to call you that?
yeah, Razz is good.
All right, hey, welcome on in. Thank you for coming in. So a lot of people in the modding community probably know you from DecoCraft, but I know you do a
Yeah.
ton more. So if you want to just give a little quick intro into who you are and what you're known for.
Okay, so I'm Razz. As Green Flem here pointed out, I am the creator of DecoCraft, and I think that's my first big thing that I was known for, I suppose. I got hired by Mojang for a while. I was working on Minecraft Dungeons as an animator and 3D modeler. And then I helped make the parrots for Minecraft Java Edition. And, the parrot model. It's for both editions, but whatever. And then I became a marketplace partner, one of the 9 founding marketplace partners. And I've been working on marketplace ever since, making maps and skin packs and texture packs. And my phone.
No worries. So how did you get in? You said you've been doing it for 9 years. That's a giant amount of time in terms of modding. Like, I don't think a lot of people have even been playing that long. So how did you get into Minecraft and what brought you into that side of it?
Like, I started playing in early alpha, and I started modding, helping mods in like 1.2.5 or something. And then I think DecoCraft came out for I think the first version was like 1.4.7 or something, if I'm not completely out of my mind. And yeah, DecoCraft's been along since then. I started it because I had like servers, role-playing servers. And I was like, I wish I could decorate. What's happening? There's nothing to decorate with. So I met some coders, and I just started asking around, and I found someone to help me start up DecoCraft. His name was Nopes, and he's the guy who made more player models and custom NPCs and animal bikes, I believe. Mm-hmm. He started with the first code base. Then I met Prof, and he and another friend of ours, Tay, started working on DecoCraft 2, where we rewrote the entire rendering engine and how everything worked. And then that's like history. Thanks to DecoCraft, I had a portfolio. Thanks to my servers, I also had a portfolio with like building and stuff. And that's how I got into Mojang. Like, I'm not a game developer or anything, but I ended up becoming one.
That's so cool. Are you saying that basically through your mod it got you a shot at Mojang? That's amazing.
Like, my first job in game dev wasn't even at Mojang. I had wanted to work for Mojang for a long time, mm-hmm. and they kept calling me back and asking for my portfolio, but like they couldn't find a spot for me, because back when I joined Mojang, we were like very like a small team. Mojang is huge now. There's like 150 people or more working just in the Stockholm office. There's a lot of Mojangsters now. It used to be we were only 30.
Wow.
And that's when I started working at Mojang. Mm-hmm. But before Mojang, actually at Minecon, so going to cons and having a portfolio is like the most important part to get your foot into game dev, because you meet a lot of people in game dev, right?
Yeah.
So I met the creators of Staxel at Minecon London. And after talking and going for drinks and whatever, a few months later, I just asked about the progress of the game, how it was going. And they're like, hey, we need another artist. And we know that you do DecoCraft, and we really need someone to make furniture and like models for the game. And I said, hell yeah. So I learned how to use voxel software to make stuff, because Staxel is a voxel-based game. Mm-hmm. So I already had Staxel under my belt when Mojang contacted me finally, and they're like, hey, would you like to come work for us? So I was working at Mojang and the company's called Pluckit at the same time. So I would go to Mojang in the morning, do my work from like 9 to 5, come home, and then do my part-time job at Pluck It, making models for
Oh my
another indie
god.
game.
You were
And
doing like what, 12-hour days, crazy hours or something
at
like that?
least,
Oh
yeah.
my
Sometimes
god.
I would do like more because then I would also want to work on deco, right? So I'm like, okay, well, I'm done with my work, so now I want to do deco craft stuff. And I would just start working on my mods as well.
So where do you get that? Where do you get that? Are you just like in love with modeling? Like how does that? Why? How can you do it for
Yeah,
that long?
I just love it. I can like your friend that built your beautiful set, because this set is, when I walked in I was like, what am I looking at? This is amazing.
Oh, he'll
Like
be happy to hear that.
like I'm just stares in awe. Like seriously. Um it's just gorgeous. I need to snipe him to come help me do DecoCraft stuff too, because this is great. But yeah, like I see stuff and people are like, oh, it's just Minecraft. No, like try being like, in my case, I'm an industrial designer, right? Like I learned how to do modeling more like high poly, super realistic with materials.
Yeah.
Trying to convert that into blocks it has its own difficulty as well, because you have to use cubes to make everything.
Yeah, yeah, it's like it's distilling it down to like it's like least amount of detail, but you still need to be able to know what it is, and it needs to look good, you know. How so,
Yeah.
so how did
Modeling.
you decide to like what to put into DecoCraft? And so were you already making models similar to that in your outside life, or was like making all of
No,
those?
I finished university and I was like, ugh, it's really hard to get a job as an industrial designer. It's not a very well known. It's like it's industrial design and engineering, right? So it's kind of like STEM, but with design at the same time. So I had to take physics and like material resistance and all of like electronic and all of the like STEM classes, but I also had to take drawing and blueprints and like technical drawing as well, and 3D modeling and all of that stuff. So I get out and it's like, you don't really fit into any particular industry. You know a little bit of everything, but you don't know enough about something to maybe nail getting a job. It's actually quite hard to get a job as an industrial designer. You either end up at a factory being an industrial engineer kind of thing, or you end up working like as a designer, maybe a graphic designer even, which is ridiculous because we do product design, right?
Yeah.
So but there isn't that many positions for that kind of design, like so I ended up working at anything that wasn't what I was doing. I even worked at an architectural firm, helping set up like interiors and whatever. So my daily life wasn't really modeling anymore, even though I really liked it. And then Minecraft just opened up a whole new world of, okay, I can build anything, but like, how do I decorate it? And
that's super cool. So you found a need that you needed, and then you filled it.
Yeah, it's because I needed it.
Yeah. So I think that's a super great like entryway for anyone, because like if you're motivated, if you're self-motivated, that's gonna take you farther than anybody asking you for, like if somebody asked you to make a mod, like that you're motivated for them. Like you want to make it because they asked you to, but you really wanted it, so you just made what you wanted, and it probably kept you going for a long time, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like it was my comfort, and it still is. Like when I'm feeling down, or when I really like to just sit down at my computer, put my headset on, put some music on, and just make stuff. How did I pick what I wanted to put into DecoCraft, to answer your question?
Yeah.
I would download maps from Planet Minecraft to play on, and then I would just go around and decorate them. That was how I played Minecraft. That was my enjoyment. Like I couldn't even build very well back in the day, but like I would download these amazing maps by these amazing, super talented builders, but then you'd go inside and everything was empty.
I see.
So it was like, so I would download maps that I thought looked really cool on the outside, and then I'd go and just play on them in single player and be like, oh, a chandelier would be awesome here. And then I'd go and make a chandelier. Oh, this kind of chair, a throne, a blah, a whatever. So that's how I would get inspiration, like whatever city or town or whatever I had downloaded at the time that I liked. I would just decorate. And then I had my roleplay server where we would bring builds and play with other people and just like, role play this whole fantastical adventure that we made up. And it was like, oh, Razz, we need, I don't know, a hay bed for the floor of the jail cells for this part of the role play that we're doing this week. And I went, okay. So I'd go and make it, and then I'd put it into Deco. And we'd just role play, and we'd have all these elements that we would use to like dress up our sets, like you've done here, better than I could ever imagine. I'm still not over this set. It's
oh, that makes me happy. Thank you. I appreciate it. So, what did you So you ended up working for Staxel, then you moved over to Mojang, and so at some point you decided to make your own company, right?
Yeah, the opportunity presented itself where they were starting out Marketplace. It wasn't a public thing yet. They wanted to see how it would go. And they were looking for people they wanted 9 or 10 people to start with, like off the bat. Obviously, the community didn't know how to take it in the beginning. It's like, why do we have to pay? Everything used to be free. But I think they've handled it very well, and that the creators want to do this as their passion, and they should be like, if they can make a living and make cool stuff, and that's super cool because that means that it's like a more community driven kind of thing. And the modded side of things is still free and still will remain free like forever, right? But like me as a modder, where I did have a job at Mojang, and I had the chance, and I said, but you have to leave Mojang. I'm like, okay, well, I took the leap of faith. I didn't know if it was going to work. I didn't know if Marketplace was going to work. I didn't know anything. And I was like, okay, so I can't work at Mojang because it's a conflict of interest, obviously. So I had to leave and start my own company. And that was scary. But, it ended up being worth it for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, what is your, what was your biggest fear going into it? Was it just the lack of like a steady thing or
yeah, well, I have enough. Thankfully, I'm very, very fortunate that my husband had the stable job, and he said, we can live off let's start this, and I can worry about the money while this becomes, profitable enough. I didn't want to, and I still don't want to be like a millionaire or anything. I just wanted to be able to have a stable income.
Yeah.
Just a normal person, stable income where I wouldn't have to worry about food or a roof over my head and whatever. And Marketplace has been able to provide that for me, and I'm very, very grateful. And in turn, I've been able to provide that for my own team because I started out solo. But Razzleberries, the way we work is as a kind of like a cooperative, which means that 90% of the profits that we make goes to my team.
Really?
90% of what my company makes, I redistribute among my team members.
That's amazing. I didn't know that. That
so
seems
like,
very unique.
Razzleberries makes a killing. No. I make enough to pay my salary and now my husband's salary, because after Prof recently left Mojang to come work full-time with me on Razzleberries because it's our thing. It's our company now. And the time was right and everything was right for that to happen. We have to pay for 2 people's salary now. And we make enough to pay for 2 people's salary. Some months are better than others, obviously. But yeah, it's most of the proceeds go back into my team that put in the work. So we divide everything on like percentage basis. Like grab 6 team members and we divide the work among them, and we divide the revenue share, like the 100% that we make. So we take 10% because we have to
there's overhead and everything.
Pay for like overhead and all of that stuff, and then and our salaries. And sometimes I'll just participate in projects, helping with models, helping with whatever, so that I can get a percentage off of projects as well, so that can go into paying for my salary, because sometimes the 10% isn't enough to pay for our salaries either. So I also work on the side on projects with my team. Like I get in there with them and do the dirty work or whatever.
So you said you had 16 people. Did I hear that right?
No, the team is pretty big right now. My team, we're about 50.
No shit. Are you serious?
I'm serious. 50 creators that I've chosen or have come to me from within the mostly the Java community and mostly the modded Java community, because that's my community and that's the community I wanted to give back to. I have people from the building community, obviously. I have people from the data pack community. But yeah, it's basically people from within the Minecraft community that have never been involved in game development in any way. Or most of them, let's say 95% of them, have never been a game dev. And they're all ranging in ages from, I think my youngest team member, which is the only one that's underage, is like 16. But I'm like in contact with their parents all the time. And then from that all the way up to in their 40s. Yeah. So we're 50 people. And if you put the work in, you can make a living. It's just providing like all the time constant content flow, right? The marketplace is getting bigger, more people are getting partnered, and the competition is getting rougher and rougher, right? But we've managed to stay afloat so far.
So, I mean, from an outsider's perspective, purely without knowing the people involved, that sounds like a nightmare dealing with so many people. How can you deal with all these freelance, or are they freelance for you, or what is it? How do you deal with all these people, make sure they get their content in on time? That's a lot of stuff to go back and forth on.
Well, we very rarely have deadlines.
Okay.
In Razzleberries, it's done when it's done.
Gotcha. Okay, so that helps a lot.
That helps a lot. It also makes the team want to work with each other. So we have within the team, they make their sub teams depending on what their like strengths and weaknesses are and what the kind of content that they want to produce is. And I'll step in sometimes, but I don't tell them you have a quota. I don't tell them we have to submit maps. Like if there's a month we don't submit anything, then we don't submit anything. That's why I was telling you sometimes it can be rough. Right now, it's been a year where we've constantly been producing nonstop. There hasn't been a week that we haven't pushed something out. But in the beginning, there were weeks that we didn't push any content. There were months that we didn't push any content out at all. As we, found our footing, because the learning curve can be pretty steep. But now we're in the flow of things, and you start to see what people you work with well and what people you don't. And as my team know, people right now, I've had to tell a lot of people that I can't help them because I don't have time. Like I'm at my limit of how much I can handle right now. My team is that's it. That's my team. If I ever do some hiring, I usually post it on Twitter, but I'm not right now because my team has mostly become a cohesive entity now. Everyone's working fine. We're mostly okay with each other. But yeah, no deadlines unless we have a bigger project. Like, I don't know if you saw on the Bedrock side, Mojang approached us to make the tutorial maps for their new releases. So the last two releases, we made a tutorial map. We made adventures. So we did Way of the Bee update, and then we did Way of the Nether, which just came out a few weeks ago. Those obviously have deadlines because we are working directly with Mojang.
Right.
So they tell us this date, this needs to be done, this date, this needs to be done, and we have deadlines for that. And the team focuses solely on that project. We also did the temples and totems, the RTX stuff with NVIDIA. That was a very fast-paced. I mean, fast. It took us like 3 months of production to get that project out, with a lot of disciplines coming together to work on it. So the team was about 15 people, I think, working on a single project. It can get rough, but if you're organized, it's really not that bad, especially with a team that already knows what they're doing.
Yeah, so it's good to hear that you've sort of reached that groove that everybody can work together well, because that I mean, especially at that scale, it seems like you've done a good job steering it that direction. So do you see, I mean, it seems like a lot of these talents can be used elsewhere in just traditional game dev as well as this
Yeah.
add-on stuff. Are you wanting to make your own thing eventually?
Oh,
Is
hell yeah.
okay.
That's my goal is to work on it, make my own, well, not my own, because again, I wish to create a, what's it called again? I keep forgetting the terms. A cooperative
Mm-hmm.
model of game development, not a company like Mojang or like any of the other bigger game companies where you have like a big stakeholders or shareholders that want money and you have to like no. In the company that I wish that my dream company would be to fund and to find a way to make a cooperative where everyone gets a piece of the pie, and everyone owns a piece of the game that we
Mm-hmm.
create. It's not, oh, here's your salary, and then the CEOs get millions of dollars or whatever in like, or
Royalties
hundreds of
and yeah.
thousands in royalties and like whatever, and the team that actually created it and made it happen just gets nothing, not even like barely any bonuses or anything, because that's how the game industry works,
Yeah.
and it sucks. And there's a whole movement within the game industry right now, in the indie game industry, where people are trying to do like this community-based approach to making a game where
Mm-hmm.
everyone owns up to what they have to do and they own a piece of the pie and they get revenue for the sales that the game makes. And that's the kind of company that I want to have and that I want to be a founder or co-founder of. There are already examples of this in the indie scene. How profitable or how well they will work, I guess, is a point of, first, it has to be done. Someone has to do it so that we can have data.
Yeah.
And second of all, it's all a matter of perspective, right? If success to you is making millions and having your employees just barely making ends meet, well, then, that's your prerogative. I wouldn't call that a successful business enterprise from what my point of view is. But
That's that what you just described sounds like ideal as hell. I I've been
is it possible, however?
who,
I don't know.
well, I mean, like you said, somebody has to take that leap, right? To be able to test and get that data. I mean, I do think it's possible. I think you have to throw away that traditional sort of capitalist mindset of get the most for myself and fuck the rest. Like it has to be sort of, yeah, you have to throw that out and approach it in a way that you're right. How can I make this sustainable while also paying my people correctly? Um, yeah, I think it's
Of course.
from a complete nobody's perspective, I think it's possible, and I think because I mean it works in other industries, right? It's worked in many
Yeah.
other industries, so I don't see
Mhm.
why it wouldn't. And that's really cool that you not only have the idea to make your own studio and make your own games, but like do it in a way that's unique. That how far are you into that? Is it just sort of in the bubbling sort of idea stages right now, or what is?
Oh yeah, it's in the
Okay.
bubbling. I know all the right people, and we have all the right
Yeah.
people, but it's just like getting them all to be able to pull it off.
Yeah.
It's again, it's a leap of faith for a lot of people because you don't have that stability maybe that you want, or like, but like, come on, the guys from Cuphead did it.
Yeah.
Like, right, like they're a success story. There's lots of success stories that are not these giant AAA companies. Yeah. So it's just to try. So absolutely, I don't want to end up in Minecraft forever. Not that I don't adore Minecraft. I do. I really do. I love Minecraft, and it'll always be a huge part of my life. And I don't think I'll ever leave.
Yeah.
I do want to like try other things, right? And Minecraft is not the be all end all of my world. If that makes sense.
No, it does. Yeah,
Um,
you don't want to. I mean, you have obvious talent, and so does your team, and it. Not saying that you're putting yourself in like a like creatively binding, but you're putting all your eggs in another company and games basket. So it'd be great to move to something different as well as do Minecraft stuff, right?
yeah, Minecraft is definitely a means to an end.
Yeah.
Because you learn a lot, and as you said earlier, you do learn skills that can be applied to game development,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it's all a matter of taking the leap, right?
Yeah. So what is there any sort of misconceptions you think people get? I mean, and there is a lot on the modding site about the marketplace. Do you see a lot of it online, or?
I don't really pay that much attention not because I don't care,
Yeah.
but because I'm so busy. I don't have the time to sit and scroll through like a drama or whatever.
Right.
So like if you want to like give me a specific example and I'll tell you what I think. Like if you have any questions, I can try and answer as truthfully as
Well,
I
I mean, it's just the typical stuff of like, I don't know. There's a lot of, I'm just trying to formulate it correctly. There's a lot of mindsets in a lot of modding communities that you're sort of selling out if you start selling your stuff or if you start making money
No,
from your stuff.
I don't
So,
agree.
yeah, and I want to hear your thoughts.
My thoughts are people deserve to make a living off of the hobbies that take so many hours. Like for you guys that are watching or listening, you enjoy years, countless hours, literal hours of another person's work for free. Don't you think that those people could make even better stuff if they knew that they could afford to focus 100% on that thing that they're giving you for free?
Mm-hmm.
So that's also was my beef with CurseForge for a long time, and it still is. It's like, okay, so they don't tell us transparently how much they're making off of us bringing traffic to their website. And modders I've heard of modders that made $50 in 6 months.
Oh yeah, that's totally not unheard of.
And like, I don't know if they're making bank or not because they're not transparent about it. I don't know how much they're keeping or if it's profitable, if it's not profitable. Like, I can't criticize information I don't know about. But I can see that, like, they're reaping a ton of benefits where we weren't. Like, as modders, we aren't still.
It's a weird mentality, right? Like, especially even on modder sides, like I've seen modders themselves like defend not wanting to get paid for their stuff, and it seems a little bit odd.
But that's cool if they don't want to get paid. Yeah. I'm not asking to get paid for deco,
right?
And because it's like it's a passion project. But it would be cool if someone could tip me once in a while. I'd appreciate that. Mm-hmm. Not because I don't make a living already, not because whatever, but like it's been a very hard, long, arduous road to get to where I am, mm-hmm. and not everyone is as fortunate as I am to have been like. I don't believe that anything is really about talent. Of course, you need talent, but you also need luck. You need to know the right people, and you need to be at the right place at the right time, or it doesn't happen. I'm like, there's crazy talented people that are way more talented than me that are not in the position that I am in, and I don't think that that's fair.
So do you see? So you see your company as sort of giving the people that you truly believe in like a chance and a shot at, getting their name out there, because they are essentially creating a portfolio and and yeah.
And like when I see it, like if I have a sub team that work like came to me and they're like, hey, we can't get partnered because it's taking forever to get partnered. Mm-hmm. And we published through you, and I said, yeah, sure, let's do it. Which right now I'm not accepting any more people because I cannot give them the attention that they require. Because I'm a finite single person. But the teams that I do have, I'm very happy to and have done on occasion, and you can go ask people. I have recommended them, and they have eventually gotten partnered because I don't have any intention of keeping them to myself. Like if they want to fly solo, they have the right to fly solo. So whenever I can, I do put in a good word, and I'm like, hey, this team deserves to be looked at. I know you guys have 10,000 applications. But like make a little space for this team and see if you like what they do. Mm-hmm. they don't. It's not that I have any power or say. It's just like I shoot someone a message about someone that I know that I can vouch for. It's like a recommendation letter. That's it.
Yeah.
It's not Razz told blah and they got partnered because Razz said so. Razz said so. No. I can.
You could already hear the conspiracy theories. I could tell.
It's like, oh my god, Razz! Like, no. It's like when you go ask for a job and you're leaving your old job, you ask for a recommendation letter.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm giving them a recommendation letter to apply for another job, which is no longer with me. That's what it is. And it's worked sometimes and sometimes it hasn't. Mm-hmm. Some people have been accepted, some people haven't. I'm willing to throw my hat in the ring for the people that I'm working with. If I see that they have the potential. And also to come join my team, it's not that I look for the best of the best. Like, no. If I see you have potential, you might not be the best, but if I feel that you click with the team and that you have potential and that you're willing to take constructive criticism, that you're willing to grow and that you're willing to learn from your peers, of course, welcome to the team. You don't have to be the best. I don't care about that. I want to see that you have drive to grow. Because wasted potential is the worst, saddest, right? You can have people that are super talented, but their egos are as big as the room and they don't work well with other people, and I don't want that on my team.
You seem like the idea. Man, I want to go work for you now. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, it seems like you have it all figured out in the way that it should be run, in the way that especially in terms of user created content, it seems like you have a really good grasp on what needs to be done and what you need to be looking for. What do you think? Oh no, go on.
I was just gonna say, I don't feel like I'm the best business savvy, but like maybe it's not the smartest on the business side of things. Because I'm not looking to like make crazy profit or like any thing like that.
Yeah, I'm sure you could streamline your entire company to make the most money possible, right? But that doesn't seem to be your prerogative.
No, it isn't. I'm happy with being, as I said, having food on the table, having a roof over my head, being able to like visit places, travel, like do the things that I like be able to fund my hobbies. Which is maybe a trip or two a year somewhere that I want to go. If I'm lucky. This year I haven't been on vacation for over a year, but whatever, one can dream. I'm not looking to, I don't know how to say it. I don't want to be rich. I think it would be cool. Not gonna lie, I would love that, but it's not my
It's secondary.
goal.
It seems
it's
like
not my goal in life at all.
Yeah.
Not even secondary. It's like way down on the list somewhere. As long as I can live comfortably, like, without worries, I'm good. I don't need anything else.
Well, I mean, it seems like, you have a ton on your plate, I can already tell, but it seems like you'd be an amazing person to advocate for this sort of like, user created content. Like, it seems like you understand the worth of a modder or of a and the value they bring to a game. I mean, I know that's not your job, but I do think that's I think people would like to hear what you have to say, because I think that it's an issue in that, they're not treated as, like you said, in the CurseForge case, they're not treated in the best way. It's sort of opaque in the way that it's done. And I think companies like yours and what you do for bringing on people from every community, I think that is, you're doing your part, and not that you have to, but I'm glad that you are. And I really do hope that more people follow suit with the kinds of things that you're doing. Is there where can people find you online?
Twitter, mostly.
Twitter?
Yeah, or on the Razz's Mods Discord.
Okay.
I mean, if I have time, I try to respond to everyone. Just please don't send me hi and then not tell me what you want, because
Can I ask you a question?
Exactly. I'm like, you just did.
Yeah.
Yeah, just hey Raz, what's up? I wanted to ask you about blah 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 blah. That's way easier for me to parse than hi, which doesn't mean I don't have to say hi.
And then
You're
wait.
like, how are you? I'm good. How about you? It's just like I have too much to do. Please tell me what you want. And I will answer you as quickly as I can.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Check her out on Twitter.
I can give my Twitter. It's at RazzleberryFox.
There you go.
I guess a green plum here can put it in the description. Yeah. I don't know if there's a description.
There is, and I'll put it on screen
when
you say it. Yeah.
And I'll just send you guys also. I'll give Green Plum here the link to my Discord if you guys want to hop on and like join and say hi. I'm there all the time, unless I'm asleep. You know, sadly I have to sleep.
Yeah, it's a human thing. It's unfortunate, isn't it?
It is. I feel like it's a waste of time.
You spend like a third of your life in bed or something like that. That's really sad.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah. Well, how have you been with quarantine? Have you been in the house a lot? Like just
I haven't left my apartment barely. Like I have left sometimes, but like I've mostly been in quarantine since February.
Yeah. It seems like I haven't left my house in like 4 months, I think. It's what it feels like.
I feel like I'm going nuts sometimes. I'm just like, oh, please. When is it gonna end? I wanted to go see my parents. They live in the US.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Sweden, and I'm sad because I haven't seen them in a year, and I don't know when I'm going to get to see them. And I'm worried about them because they're also like, you know, older, like they're in their 60s. And I'm like, don't leave the house because they're in Houston right now in Texas. And I know that it's really bad there right now. So I'm just like, you're forbidden from leaving the house.
Yeah. It sucks. It's like you want to go out, but you can't because you know you want to be responsible. It's just all this craziness.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't even know, like, can you come to the US right now? Is that even allowed? Yeah, I was like, is that even allowed?
I think I'm allowed to go to the US.
You can't come back,
I don't even know. But, like, I can come back because I'm a resident, but I have to, like, quarantine when I get back, which is fine. I can quarantine. But, I don't think it's a good idea to travel at all right now. So I'll just wait it out. Sadness.
I know. It probably put a lot of, like you said, you want to travel. It's kind of put a lot of wrenches in a lot of people's plans in terms of that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I didn't have any like spot, like ticket spot or whatever.
Yeah. Well, at least kids are at home and playing Minecraft now and using the marketplace, and you know, there's a bright side to all this.
Not gonna lie, it's been a good few months.
Yeah.
Like, I even feel bad because obviously not everyone, again, is as fortunate. And I know that there's a lot of people that are struggling right now.
Yes.
But for online businesses, it's been really, really good because people they don't have anything to do. So they're consuming digital media like super crazy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and they're hungry for